Okay, the purpose of this video is to show you how you can use Audacity, which is the audio player that I recommended or suggested that you can use if you don't want to use Windows Media Player. Okay, so let's get started here. Alright, now the one thing to note about Audacity is that you're not able to play WMA files on it. I usually upload WMA files to the server only because they're much smaller than WAV files. I'll probably be doing another little video showing you how you can use software to convert a WMA file to a WAV file. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started here. File, open. Okay, let's just select any recording here. Okay, so what we see here, we see the waveform. Okay, so some of the features in Audacity are that you can select a portion of the text, and if you press your spacebar, it will play it.
The two men who were charged with last week's 15 million.
Okay.
The two men who were charged with last week's 15 million.
Another cool feature about Audacity is that this part that we've selected, we can actually tell the player just repeat that part to loop it. Okay, so if we take our mouse, okay, we see shift for loop play. So if we press shift.
The two men who were charged with last week's 15 million. The two men who were charged with last week's 15 million. The two men who were charged.
Okay, so that is sometimes a useful feature if there's a little segment of speech that you can't that you can't quite catch. You can use this loop feature. So like I said again, you take your mouse, you select the portion of the recording, you put your mouse on the play button, and then it says shift for loop play. So you press shift and click it.
Charged with last week's $15 million drug bundle were charged with,
and then it will keep on looping it. Another interesting feature about Audacity is that here, when we first open the sound file, we see the entire waveform of the entire recording. Okay, so we see here that it's probably a little more than 35 seconds long. What you can do is select a portion. Oh no, wait, right, and you can select the portion and expand it so you see, so that occupies the whole screen. Alright, so this is also another useful feature that I find with Audacity. Okay, let's get to the interesting part. Sometimes in a particular recording there might just be, a few seconds of speech that's particularly soft, and you might want to increase the volume because you can't really hear it clearly. So what you can do, you can select part of the waveform here, the soft part. I'm just randomly selecting any part here. You go to Effect and you go to Amplify. Alright, and here it will tell you how much it will amplify it by, and then you click OK. Now I don't know if you noticed that. Let me undo this. Okay, so you see the size of the waveform there, that's the original, and when we amplified it, you see the waveform increasing in terms of its loudness, in terms of the decibel level. Alright, the one thing is that you cannot select the entire recording and amplify it. So this feature works best with a small selection of the waveform, of a small selection of the audio file. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend you trying to amplify the volume on the entire file unless it's a really bad recording. I would say just use the feature whenever you encounter portions of the audio file where it's really hard what the person is saying. Okay, so that's it for our quick and dirty rundown of Audacity. There are a lot more features in this software that you can play around with, but those are really the main things that you need to know in order to use it for transcription purposes.